There's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man. Just let that sink in for a second. That single, chilling realization completely shatters the reality of the characters we're about to follow. It is the exact moment their world violently shifts from a predictable, conventional combat zone into an absolute nightmare, where the hunters suddenly become the hunted.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Today, we are unpacking what is honestly one of the greatest bait-and-switch narratives ever put together. We're going to look at a story that starts out as a pure, high-octane military mission and then systematically strips away literally every single advantage its heroes have, plunging them into a desperate, primal fight for survival against an impossible enemy. We're going to break down exactly how this chaotic mission goes horribly wrong, step by brutal step. So let's just dive right into it.
All right, Section 1, the Covert Rescue Mission. A simple setup for an elite squad.
Now, this story kicks off with exactly what you'd expect from a classic military operation. We're introduced to Major Dutch and his team, and these guys are the best of the best, the kind of squad you bring in when regular armies just won't cut it. And their initial orders? Incredibly straightforward. It's a textbook extraction. Step 1, find the downed chopper. Step 2, run down the trail of the guerrillas who took the survivors. Step 3, grab the cabinet minister and his aide. And Step 4, bounce back across the border before anyone even knows they were there. Like their CIA liaison Dylan puts it, it's a simple setup. In and out, a one-day operation.
And you have to notice the squad's immense confidence here. I mean, they are walking into an active hostile zone, carrying miniguns, heat seekers, and heavy explosives. As one of the guys brags, bunch of slapjaw bandits, this stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. It's just pure, unfiltered machismo. They have absolute, unshakable faith in their firepower, their training, and their overall superiority. We really need to establish this baseline of absolute power, because this narrative is about to violently rip it all away.
Moving on to Section 2, the CIA deception, the true objective revealed.
So once the team locates the guerrilla camp and wipes it out with terrifying efficiency, the script completely flips on them. The objective wasn't what it seemed at all. Dutch went in assuming he strictly ran a rescue team there to save a cabinet minister. But the reality? That cabinet minister story was total bullshit. The hostages were already dead. Dylan actually used Dutch's team to do the CIA's dirty work, destroying the camp just to stop a major rebel invasion that was days away from crossing the border. Basically, Dylan knew he couldn't get Dutch to take the job without a solid cover story.
Naturally, this leads to a massive confrontation, which is perfectly summarized by Dutch's realization you cooked up a story and dropped the 6 of us in a meat grinder. Dutch realizes that, to the CIA, he and his men are just expendable assets. This betrayal completely isolates the team. They're deep in hostile territory, cut off from immediate extraction, and reeling from a massive breach of trust. And, this very human deception perfectly sets the stage for a much darker, completely unforeseen threat.
Which brings us to Section 3. The jungle comes alive. A new, unseen enemy.
Just as the squad realizes they've been played by their own government, the true threat starts to emerge from the trees. And honestly, even before they hit the guerrilla camp, they were stumbling upon these brutal clues. They found a missing squad of Green Berets, guys from Fort Bragg that Dutch actually knew personally, skinned alive and hung in the trees. Then, during their retreat, a member of their own team is killed, leaving behind this fused, cauterized wound with absolutely zero shrapnel, no powder burns, nothing. And even worse, bodies are vanishing completely without a single footprint left in the mud. Suddenly, all their conventional military logic is utterly useless.
What we see next is a rapid, systematic dismantling of the world's deadliest soldiers. First, they find Jim Hopper's team skinned alive. Then, Hawkins is taken right out from under their noses, his body just vanishing into thin air. Blaine, the absolute tank carrying a devastating minigun, gets his chest blown out by some kind of energy weapon. Mac loses his mind and gets hunted down in the bush, and then Dylan is ambushed trying to avenge him. This unseen hunter is using the trees, completely bypassing their tripwires, and just picking them off one by one, almost for sport.
Anna, the surviving guerrilla they took prisoner, is the only one who can provide any context, saying, El diablo que hace trofeos de los hombres, the demon who makes trophies of man. She explains this is local lore, a creature that only shows up during the hottest years specifically to hunt. And guys, this is such a brilliant lesson in storytelling because it illustrates a complete genre shift. What started as an elite military op is now a terrifying sci-fi monster hunt. And these badass soldiers, they're just the game.
Okay, let's hit the climax. Section 4, the final showdown. Mud, traps, and survival.
At this point, the heavy weaponry has completely failed them, and the team is gone. Dutch is the only one left, totally stripped of all his high-tech advantages, leaving him in a primal one-on-one battle to survive. But then, he notices something crucial. During an earlier firefight, the creature was actually wounded, leaving this glowing green blood on the leaves. If it bleeds, we can kill it. This is the iconic turning point. Dutch realizes this thing isn't a ghost. It isn't invincible. So he stops running for the chopper, and he decides to make his stand.
And now we get this incredible tactical contrast. On one side, the hunter is relying on vastly advanced tech, active camouflage that literally bends light, and thermal heat vision that easily spots warm bodies in the dense jungle. Meanwhile, Dutch relies on a desperate, primitive tactic. After sliding down a riverbank, he gets covered in thick, cold mud. And the creature? It walks right past him. The mud completely masks his body heat. Dutch realizes this and weaponizes it, neutralizing the creature's advanced targeting system while he sets up these primitive, devastating jungle traps.
The visual here is just phenomenal. We see the creature's visor frantically scanning the environment. Heat, 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 but it just can't find him. Think about how wild that is. The most advanced extraterrestrial hunter in the galaxy is completely blinded because a guy covered himself in dirt. The playing field is finally remarkably leveled.
And that leads straight into this incredibly intense primal moment. Dutch, covered head to toe in mud, screaming into the pitch-black jungle, "Come on, do it, come on, kill me, I'm here, kill me!" He isn't panicking, he is deliberately baiting the creature. He is drawing the ultimate hunter right into the kill zone of his final low-tech trap. In that moment, Dutch has become the apex predator of the jungle.
As the trap is sprung and the creature is finally brought down, Dutch stands over this dying alien menace and asks the ultimate question: what the hell are you? And honestly, I want to leave you with that provocative thought today. This narrative shows us that true suspense comes from subverting our expectations, taking the greatest human warriors, stripping away all their fancy tech, and forcing humanity to survive by returning to its most primitive roots. So, when all the high-tech gear is finally gone, who really is the ultimate hunter? Thank you so much for joining me on this experience.